Before we get into what the matrix devices need to do to connect up to the Thors, first I want you to just hear what our combinator sounds like with no patterns running or anything like that. So let's play back our sequence. And remember, both of these rotaries control all the Thors. And we can bypass that. So it's actually quite a neat effect. With these three filters running, they're actually covering most of the frequency range, regardless of what the frequency control is at. So that's creating just some gaps between their frequency range. So it's almost like a complex notch filtering arrangement that we're moving around as we move this frequency control. And when we turn resonance up, we're getting some resonant peaks, which we don't ever get with a notch filter. So it's quite a nice and subtle effect, especially on this strings patch without anything else. But of course, we're going to move on beyond that. So let's start by connecting up these matrix devices. So if we flip the rack around, all we need to do is connect up the gate CV to the Thor gate CV. So we'll do that for all three pairs. And now what we're going to do is actually just solo the first Thor, just so we can tweak the effect and perfect it before we move on and add that to all the Thor devices. So looking back kind of at our blueprint, we've got this amp envelope amount, and that kind of reminds us what we need. So we need to be able to change the amount of amp envelope modulation. And the first thing we need to do is actually make that amp envelope modulation happen. And we're going to do that by using the global envelope to control the amount of signal that's going through the filters. So we'll put that at 100, and then we'll listen to what it sounds like. Well, I don't really have a proper sequence in here. Maybe we can do something up quick. So that gives us our global envelope amp modulation, and we'll control that with rotary 4, of course. So all we need to do is go into this Thor and set rotary 4 to control this amount. So we'll go into the mod bus and mod 1 scale and mod 2 scale, and they'll go 0 to 100. Of course, we can control the envelope shape here using the decay and release sliders. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to control them with another rotary. I've got something else in mind for the mod wheel. So instead, why don't we use one of the combinator buttons to just switch from two different decay settings. So we'll say long decay, and we'll use button 4 to go to the global envelope decay, and we'll change it from, say, 20 to maybe to 45. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's a good effect. So additionally, we want to have some control over the filter envelope. In Alligator, you can use the gate signals from the patterns to trigger an amp envelope, a filter envelope, or both. So we've run out of rotaries here, but I want to use the mod wheel to control the filter envelope amount. So the filter envelope amount is pretty simple here, really easy to set. It's just with this small rotary right here. So all we need to do actually is go in, set up mod wheel, going to filter 3, envelope amount. So let's turn down the amp envelope and hear what that sounds like now with the filter envelope. If you've ever watched a cooking show on TV, you know that they hurry things up by putting something in the oven and then pulling it right out like it's already cooked. Well, that's what I'm going to do right now as I set up these exact same modulations on the next 2 Thors, just to save time and avoid showing you the redundant processes.